All right, guys. So, luckily, I didn't click on it because it seemed like clickbait, and it turns out it was YouTube videos trying to like scam people by their wording that Mexico has joined BRICS. Not true, according to any decent sources, anyway. There's like two sources that are pushing this, and neither of them, like, I've never even heard of them before, and it's probably just some horse shit. Doesn't mean it's impossible, though, but it's still worth analyzing. So, Mexico is not a member of BRICS, but participated as an observer at the group's summit in July 2025. While Mexico has received invitations to join in the past, it has declined, prioritizing its relationships with North American partners. Mexico's observer status at the 2025 BRICS Summit. At the 2025 BRICS Summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Mexican Minister of Foreign Affairs Juan Ramon de la Fuente attended as an invited observer. Mexico's attendance coincided with President Claudia Sheinbaum's proposal for a Latin America and Caribbean Economic Well-Being Summit. Mexico is seeking to build a stronger multilateral framework with countries in the global south. De la Fuente used the summit to engage in bilateral discussions, meeting with his Brazilian and Uruguayan counterparts to explore expanding trade and strengthening regional integration. So, it's important to note that this isn't like unrelated to Trump. Like, it's clear as fucking day. Trump threatens all of our historical allies, puts stupid fucking tariffs on them, and what happens? It fucks the United States. That's what happens. I don't think many people realize exactly how significant Mexico is to the United States. You just don't have much information on the economic ties and all that. The same applies to Canada, who Trump has been pushing a fucking war with, an economic war at least. Well, hell, he did essentially like float the thinly veiled threat of it becoming a state of the United States. Like, you can't make this shit up. There are consequences for this. This is why it's important that you elect a president who actually knows something about politics, who knows how to engage in like foreign affairs, who isn't a complete fucking moron with a third grade fucking vocabulary. It's very important. There are consequences for these things. He's a fucking man-child. He's a narcissist. And just as importantly, so there's the intelligence aspect, and then there's the he's evil aspect. Both are important to address. So it's not a good idea to have a leader of the free world, so to speak, that has a below average IQ. I'm sorry if this offends some people. I'm not like some hardcore like intelligence is everything purist, but we're not talking about just any job. It's extremely important. And the man, I mean, there's no polite way to say it. He's a fucking moron. Objectively. Like, it doesn't take a lot of investigation to see that he just can't grasp complex ideas. He can't. Everything's black and white to him. Everything is ultra simplistic. That matters. Then you've got the evil. We've got a man who's fucking repeatedly been accused of rape. He's actually lost one case, and then he tried to sue because a a publication or a influencer or something called it rape, and a judge said that according to common parlance, it's absolutely okay for people to call that rape because it is. The only reason why it didn't fit legally was because in the specific district court legal definition, it wasn't exactly like legally how you would define it. But again, the same judge that said that according to how people commonly use the word, he did rape the woman. 100%. All the evidence points to it. Like, done. End of discussion. Like I get tired of repeating the same thing. Like, even if you're on the right, he's evil. You just know he is. Like, I feel it. I find it hard to believe that people are that fucking brainwashed. He's evil. Like, let's move past it. Like apparently you don't care that he's evil. It's just, or you like it, even worse. But point I was going into before I got freaking sidetracked by Trump was that you don't have to actually join BRICS. It's obvious that Mexico's not just going to directly, like, at least immediately join BRICS because of the regional instability that would cause and conflicts with the United States specifically, or especially. But it's not, again, things aren't black and white. Mexico has drastically moved in the direction of BRICS, and it's worth noting you don't have to be a member of BRICS in order to trade with BRICS nations. And even though there's no direct, hey, we're joining BRICS as an organization, Mexico has made various moves, and they're making talks of tying their economy to the yuan. And it makes sense. If the dollar's country, the United States, is constantly attacking you, even though you've been their allies forever, and threatening you, bullying you, you're just going to go elsewhere. Tariffs don't do anything but they fuck over the country that's pushing them. Especially in this case, because Trump is an absolute moron. Everything he does backfires. It never helps anyone. And most of the things that he does it's not for the greater good of society anyway. It's for himself and his wealthy friends. So this is another example. This is the fuck around and find out of Trump being a moron. Trump makes a move. It's usually rash. Like, it's him being impulsive and emotional, not thinking things through because he doesn't have the capacity to do that. Acting like a fucking man-child. And then who pays for it? The people of the United States. And, of course, other countries as well. It just hurts everyone involved. But not equally. It hurts the United States far more than it hurts, like, Mexico. Because, again, all they're doing now is they're going, okay, United States wants to be fucking bullies. We will give the same resources and give our resources out probably at least around the same extent. We're just going to swap partners. Now they go to China. What does that do? That makes China more powerful. And it's like a huge national security thing for the United States to, quote, combat China's influence. You're not doing a very good job, dumb fucks. Like, how stupid can you possibly be? And tariffs, while we're on the topic, were curbed for a brief period of time. And the reason why, and that you can verify this yourself, it's very easy to, it's simple shit to find out. many large companies like overloaded. They knew that the tariffs were coming because it's not a secret. It didn't come like all of a sudden. They fucking loaded down and fucking just bought up all the supply they could so that they could keep their retail prices the same for as long as possible. Because not only is the tariffs going to harm everyday Americans, it's going to harm American companies as well. Which is ironic because, according to Trump, the entire idea is to protect American jobs, to bring manufacturing back to the United States. Well, apparently your ideas of how to do that don't work. Over 200,000 manufacturing jobs were lost by Trump in his first term, even though he ran on specifically that issue. All he does is claim shit, and either one, he doesn't try, or two, he's incompetent and he can't get things done because he's a fucking moron. Which is why you don't elect fucking presidents because they were a celebrity, because they were known for saying you're fired on The Apprentice. That's not a qualification for president of the United States. Neither is touching children. It's like, it's hilarious. The people that keep defending him is like, what is going on in your head? Is it like, are you like closet pedophiles? Is that what goes on in your head? Is it like, we've got Kamala Harris, and not even just people in that specific election. Like, we've got like history here. You can go to like Biden. You could go to George W. Bush if you want to go to the right side. Anyone. And they're like, nah. They really don't get me going. They don't excite me. I don't feel strongly about it. I feel like they don't have enough evidence that they more than likely touch children. It's like they have to be a fucking, they have to be like extremely demented. They have to like be known for saying grab women by the pussy. They have to be known for factually being fact checked as the greatest liar in all of American presidential history. All. Since fact checks were a thing, no one has come close. Like, it's like you look for those as qualifications. And then we know that Donald Trump is on the Epstein. He's in the Epstein files. We don't know all the details, but we know he's in them. MAGA themselves were pushing over and over like it was a frenzy to release the Epstein files. And then Trump and MAGA, and when I say MAGA this time, I'm not talking about everyday citizens. I'm talking about the Trump's cabinet and shit, like politicians, the power structure up top. When Trump says it's a hoax, when Trump starts evading and tries to like look for anything he can point to as like a way to detract or pivot from that so he don't have to talk about it, and the fact that he hasn't released the files like he promised that he would, all of a sudden it's not important anymore. So what you're saying implicitly, you're not saying it directly, obviously, but implicitly what you're saying is, I honestly, I cared about it. It was important. You could tell by my actions that it was important to me. But now that I know Trump's involved and he's obviously trying to like make it go away, I don't really care. I mean, even if he's touched children, even if that's true, you know what? Like, let's just bury it. Don't care. It's a hoax. That's all you're doing. So what does that tell people about you? Oh, I got off into another tangent. Can't help it. But Yeah, this is a direct result of Trump's stupidity. And don't think it's the fucking end. This has been going on, and it's happened already in various countries. No one trusts us anymore because Trump's a fucking moron. If you believe that we can like pull off isolationism in the way that Japan tried, like around World War II, that like cut yourself off from the world and you make your own manufacturing, you have only your own resources and all that good shit. If you think that we're going to be anywhere near as prosperous as we are now under that system, you do not understand global economics at all. Like, it's important that you educate yourself before you say extremely stupid shit, because there are consequences for acting out of ignorance. The only reason the United States of America is as powerful as it is right now is because, you're not going to like hearing this, but because the United States made it a point to go all around the world and subjugate areas. Sometimes it was with actual violence, force. Sometimes they would foment unrest and fund like color revolutions, I believe they call it, where they would actually like create opposition and fund them and give them like supplies, ammunition, etc., to attack an ideology they didn't like. And then they would have like puppet dictators that would basically sell all their resources for next to nothing so that American oligarchs could profit. Sometimes they would do it a little bit more, it's like covert imperialism, where they would make it to where the people of a given region were necessarily tied economically to the dollar, so that they had no choice but to benefit the United States if they wanted to survive. We've done it all over the world. And that is what made us the wealthiest nation in the history of the world. It's not like, don't be naive. It's not like we're spreading freedom. Like, some people crack me up. They really do. But like, yeah, like, you got examples out the fucking ass. Almost all of Latin America, and by the way, we're doing it again in Venezuela, I believe. I may have that wrong. I get those places confused a lot because I don't know a lot about geography. But it's a fact that we have went in and meddled with shit all over the place in Latin America to insane ends. We've done a lot in Africa, the Middle East, all over the world. And what you'll notice, it like, cut out the rhetoric of, oh, we're fighting terrorism. Like, let's forget that, like, in Iraq, during the whole claim about fighting terrorism, there was absolutely no evidence, even afterward, to show that there was any link to terrorism. They knew that. It's not about that. Nobody gives a fuck about that. It's about resources. It's about taking what's not yours and coming up with some sort of bullshit justification. That is why the United States is the fucking most powerful country in the world and the wealthiest. So, in a way, I see it as a positive thing. I mean, it's hurting us Americans the most, but in a way of like looking beyond myself, it's a good thing, because at least it's dismantling the fucking empire that has subjugated and killed so many fucking people, all in the name of fucking profit. So yeah, all that I can hope is whatever major power comes on top next, and it's looking like that's going to be China, highly likely, they do better. I don't have really high hopes on that because most any country only cares about power. And once they get more and more power, then they just start showing their true colors and start subjugating people, including their own people, but especially other places around the world. It's highly likely that, like, years down the road when China's on top, assuming that happens, that they're just going to do the same shit. Maybe even worse. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. Thank you for your time.